Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Shrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
That's right.
I thought I'd go with a lower voice.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about never throw your old shoes out until you do this.
Right.
So Brad's going to take the lead on this, but before we start, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also go to bobandbrad.com, go to the giveaway section. We're always giving something away. Sometimes it's really big stuff.
Yes.
Check it out. Let us know because we don't know ourselves.
This is a future video.
This is a future video.
It's going to happen in the future.
Yeah. Ooh. So you can also go to Facebook. It'll be pinned to the top of the page. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program. And now we have the
podcast.
That's we interview notable people in the field.
Dr. Stuart McGill.
It's Dr. Stuart McGill.
Yep. Very nice guys. Just listened to him this morning.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bob, shoes. You know, we got a number of shoes here. They protect our feet. They help us balance. They help us maneuver on uneven surfaces. But they also tell a story about what can happen to you in the future, because they don't only affect your feet, but the shoe can tell you how it can affect your knee, your hip, and your low back. And we're going to show you how to read this information.
Right.
It's not that hard, actually.
It's like reading the tea leaves.
Yeah. And you don't want to just do it once. You want to do it every time you wear a pair of shoes. And you'll see from the time, like myself, when I was in my 30s in PT school compared to now, my footwear difference.
Is it really?
Yeah, notably different. Yeah.
Because you changed your running, or just because you're older?
I don't know,
Bob. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, actually, we could talk about that. That's another story. We want to get on with the program.
So we want to look at wear patterns.
Right.
Correct?
Well, yeah, not only just on the bottom of the shoe, but there's more than that, but we'll get to that. We're going to look at the bottom of the shoe where it makes contact with the ground, the floor, wherever you're walking or running, and see how that looks. And we're going to show you just a general pattern. This is actually how big Bob's foot is. I took his shoe and
I can't believe that.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, because I don't have that big of feet.
Yeah, obviously I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so here's the bottom. Now the black portion represents a normal wear pattern. You heel strike typically
a little bit more on the outside.
Outside of the heel. It rolls across the foot more on the outside and then goes to the center, and there's a nice, more of an even wear pattern there.
This is the right shoe, by the way.
Yes, yep,
so
exactly.
Right side.
If you're going to buy a pair of shoes, you have a pattern like this, you're probably going to ask for a pair of stability shoes. And if you have a good shoe salesperson, they'll know what you're talking about. If they don't, go somewhere else. Get a new salesperson. Now we're going to go to, if someone's flat-footed or a pronator is what we call that. Here's the right foot again. The wear pattern here is on the inside of the foot. And with that, a motion control shoe.
Now that's a very stiff shoe.
Yeah, there's very thick soles on those.
You can't bend it like you can bend this one.
Not at all.
It's rigid.
Yeah. And they're a little more expensive, but if you do this actually, your whole leg internally rotates. It can stress your knee, stress your hip, and your back. So this is one of those patterns that you want to pay attention to so you don't get problems up the chain.
Now, I want to warn you too that these shoes, anyone you pick still has to feel good.
Right.
I mean, you should put it on. It feels good immediately.
Yeah.
If it hurts, doesn't feel right, that's not the shoe for you.
Right.
Don't go out thinking it's going to eventually wear into it.
Right.
It should feel good at the store.
I had a salesman. My daughter's a little flat-footed, and she put one of these on, and she said it feels like there's a big bump there and it wasn't comfortable. He said, "Oh, it'll be okay. Give her a couple weeks."
No, I won't.
And I said, "No, we'll try something else."
Yeah.
The next one is a supinator. That means you walk on the side of your foot, and we got examples of all these real life, except for this one, but we've got some nice examples. The wear's on the outside of the foot. This is, people have more tendency to roll their ankle. You can sprain your ankle because they do supinate. And that one, you'll need a cushioned shoe. Typically, it's a rigid foot.
Yeah, and I think, my wife likes cushion shoes.
Yeah.
But I typically think too, Brad, in your case, it's because you externally rotate your hips.
Mm-hmm.
Your hips are shaped that way. The bones are.
Right.
So
Yeah, we got because my walking pattern is different than my running pattern.
Sure.
How it wears, which is very interesting. And if you are a runner and you want to be a 4-foot runner, in other words, your heel doesn't touch the ground, you're going to see as much. You're going to see the wear primarily in the 4-foot. Maybe a little bit here, but
and
not
that's
so
where
much.
you want to see it.
Right. Then you know you're doing what you want.
Right.
Oftentimes a minimalist shoe is people use for that, which is nice because they're usually a little cheaper.
Well, the idea with the minimalist too is that you're trying to strengthen the foot.
Sure. Right.
Well, you know, there's a whole movement out there that's saying that our shoes are getting too big. They're making our feet too weak.
Too much support.
Too much support.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I've been using these for 3 years now because I went to a 4-foot running and I'm very happy with
Did you
them.
have to work your way into this, or were you able to like try use it day one and just keep using it, or did you use
I went to
one?
No, I went to a minimalist and
You just did it.
yeah, I don't know. It took me a couple of years. I
Did
had
it?
sore calves. It's not
Right.
an easy transition.
Right.
That's another video.
Well, that's all I was thinking. Maybe you would maybe use a old one and a new one. You know, go back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Sure.
That's an option where you have 2 different shoes you run with.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're supposed to, switch off all the time anyway. To give you
Yeah,
the
if
shoe.
you're a serious runner,
Yeah,
run with
run
2
every day.
pairs of shoes and
Yeah.
alternate them. Anything to make it cost more, it seems.
Yeah.
All right, here we got some real live shoes from both Bob and I.
Yeah.
So you know what you're looking for when you look at your shoes before you throw them away. Look at this is Bob's shoe. You're going to zoom in
This
pretty
is
good
a walking
on this.
shoe for me.
This is one of your walking
Yeah.
shoes. You can see the pattern here is wore just like a normal wear pattern. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it's wore here. We have some
You
wear
can't see the
here.
ridges here anymore.
Yep.
It's flattened out.
Yeah. And so, Bob, you're normal.
Well, I've got really high arches.
You do. So,
Yeah,
but
I mean, surprisingly high.
you don't
arches.
have any foot, knee pain, or hip pain
No.
from anything?
No.
Okay. And this is his walking shoe. One thing I do want to mention is on these shoes, you'll see the outsole, which is usually a dark colored material, and then the white color is softer. When this gets through and it hits the white, like it almost is right here, you got to get rid of the shoe. We
Yeah.
got some better examples of that.
Because the problem with this is this will start altering your walking.
Yes.
I mean, if the shoes wore out,
Yep.
it'll start enhancing whatever problem you have.
And it may not just happen over a period of time. Once it wears out, you get to that soft
Yeah.
cushion. You can wear out quickly.
It can go fast.
And within a few weeks, you can really start developing some knee pain or hip pain for whatever reason. And it's because your shoes wore out.
Yeah, I have bought probably 100 pair of shoes, not
you,
more. in
You
my
don't throw
life.
any of them out.
Well, I give them to Jim. Joni's
Jim-
husband.
oh, yeah.
He uses them.
Oh, good.
I don't
See?
know what he does with them.
Reuse, recycle, all
That's
that.
right.
Now, this is my running shoe. And here's the midsole. It's a minimalist shoe. It's all the way across. And if you look right
Look how much
here,
he's wore out that
this
shoe.
is completely wore out. And I did this
Yeah.
so I could do this video. Plus, I didn't feel like buying a pair.
Yeah.
But I had no foot pain, no pain. But I did get rid of them about a month ago. But this is pretty severe. I'm down into the cushion, the white part of the shoe. That's air-filled foam, if you will. And you can see it's really starting to take a hold there. And that makes my foot tip this way. Now, if you look at a walking shoe, this is... I use it for yard work now, but
wow, I was going to say that thing, baby's wore out.
it is. And you can see here, it wore through the outsole. You can see right there is the insole. But it's pretty normal pattern here,
Yeah,
right across where it should be. So my running is clearly different than how I walk.
right. But you walk with your feet turned out.
I do, yeah.
And you run with your feet turned in, keeping them straight. And I
exactly.
think that's why we're seeing the
That's why
difference.
we have this. So
Yeah.
this is my new running shoe. It's a minimalist. I don't know how I'm going to like this one, but it was on sale and I think it fit good enough. And we're going to see.
So
It's pretty flexible.
They are cushioned shoes, aren't they?
But it has no outsole. It's all just air cushion. I have a feeling these
Oh,
are going to
sure.
wear out pretty quick.
Sure.
I'll keep an eye on them. I have a little bit here and a little bit there. So we'll see how this goes. And this is what you need to do with your shoes is check them out and buy shoes and pay attention to what kind of shoes you're wearing and which ones feel better. And go with the ones that feel better on your
It just
feet,
seems
your
like that
knees.
has a pretty big heel yet for a minimalist.
Yeah, it's pretty light though. And this kind of goes up higher than it actually is because it cups up. So
Sure.
it's not a true minimalist.
Yeah.
But it's more in that direction.
Sure.
Well, what happens is I wanted to get this exact pair. Well, this is 2 years ago. They don't make them anymore because they're not pretty anymore. I don't know, same color, but now. But wait, Bob, there's more.
There's more.
There's more,
There's
Bob. And Bob has the other part. His
other issues.
Yeah, you want to talk about your issue?
Sure.
On the top of the shoe.
Yeah. So if you look at my feet, this is not a good thing to see, but
it's just
I have
it's
hammer
terrible.
toes, and that means these extensors, these muscles right here,
They
are overactive.
They pull your ankle up
Yep.
and your toes up.
And these are firing when they shouldn't be, really, to be honest with you. They're overfiring. And they actually gave me tendonitis a couple times throughout my running career, right up in here.
On the top of the foot.
Top of the foot.
Yep.
And on both of my shoes here, both of my running shoes here, I have a hole. I actually wore a hole out.
Here, you got to do this, Bob, because I think this will show it really well. See
yeah,
that?
yeah. There we go.
That's all. I've had this too in the past, but I've corrected my running
I've
form.
corrected mine now.
You did?
Yeah, my latest ones now, I don't have it anymore.
And how did you correct it?
I just, when I run, I think more about relaxing and pushing off on my feet.
Toes.
And push off on my toes as opposed to, I just, when I don't think about it, I actually lift my toes up. It's weird.
Sure.
It's a weird thing.
I did exactly the same thing. I thought about keeping my toes relaxed when I lifted up my foot, and I was able to control it. And it wasn't as hard as forefoot running to change.
Right.
You know,
it doesn't take that much, but it's funny. I got that tendonitis on the top of the foot. I'm like, why am I having pain on the top of my foot?
Yeah,
it couldn't make any sense to me.
So if you're having that, that's probably what it is, and you're probably going to see this pattern. I can't believe I'm sticking my hand in.
We do this stretch. I couldn't believe it either. I do this stretch too, by the way.
I do want to say one thing, Bob. This can be a very complicated topic.
Yes,
if you're having problems in your knees and you can't figure this out, or you don't want to, you can get gait analysis on a treadmill with cameras on you, and you're going to need probably a therapist, a trained athletic trainer, a therapist, and they will do a detailed gait analysis, look at your running or walking in slow motion to see how they can correct it by orthotics, inserts,
or creating further up the leg. There might be problems that are causing it.
Yeah, stretches, and that may be a necessary thing, but for most people, this will give you a good understanding. So, Bob, I don't know if this is going to do anything in regards to our biggest dilemma.
Brad, I can fix just about anything
except for
a broken heart.
Right, and this shoe thing is not going to even.
But we're trying to work on relationships now. So if you have relationship problems, go.
And this could help that, because if you buy a pair
You're mad at your spouse.
No, don't. You go buy him a pretty pair of shoes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, my wife has got more shoes in the house than you can shake a stick at, but I got quite a few too.
My wife does too, and I do too because of running shoes.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
All right, we
got to quit.
Bye.
Goodbye.